Unit 2. The theme for this unit is Models of Personality Functioning and the Personality Disorders. The diagnosis of personality disorders is one of the areas of the most change from DSM-4 to DSM-5. In DSM-4, the personality disorders were coded on axis 2 of a 5-axis system. DSM-5 does not have axes, and so the personality disorders are simply another chapter in the diagnostic system. As DSM-5 was being written, there was a great deal of pressure to adopt a dimensional rather than categorical model of personality disorders. The DSM-5 Personality Disorders Workgroup decided to stay with a categorical approach and included a dimensional rating system in a chapter for further research. We are going to learn the DSM-5 categorical model for personality disorders, the individual psychology conceptualization of personality functioning, which is lifestyle, and get to know the Level 1 Symptom Questionnaire from DSM-5 and the World Health Organization Disability Assessment Schedule. In ICD-10, the personality disorders are coded F60 to 61 in the Disorders of Adult Personality and Behavior section. Compare this list to the DSM-5 list of personality disorders. A number of the diagnoses have the same name, but each classification system has diagnoses that are not found in the other. The Disorders of Adult Personality and Behavior section also includes F62, enduring personality changes not attributable to brain damage and disease, F63, habit and impulse disorders, F64, gender identity disorders, F65, disorders of sexual preference, F66, psychological and behavioral disorders associated with sexual development and orientation, F68, other disorders of adult personality and behavior, and F69, unspecified disorder of adult personality and behavior. Most of the disorders in these sections are included in other chapters of DSM-5. We will also be using the World Health Organization Disability Assessment Schedule for all of our case studies. There are two DSM-5 versions, the proxy-administered and the self-administered forms, and a 6-item clinician version that is from the World Health Organization website. We will be using the World Health Organization version, which you can download. You are to rate the functioning of the mistress with headaches and palpitations on these 6 dimensions, from none to extreme and cannot do. The DSM-5 version of the rating schedule provides a few more specific skills for each dimension, and so may help you make your ratings. Include your ratings in your posting about this case, along with questions you might have for the client in order to have more reliable ratings on this scale. Chapter 9 of our text describes personality disorders as egosyntonic and maladaptive variations in important domains of personality. Pay particular attention to the domains they describe. These authors also add some very interesting assessment topics for the personality disorders. DSM-5 defines diagnostic criteria for the specific disorders and groups the personality disorders into 3 clusters: Cluster A, Cluster B, and Cluster C. Pay particular attention to the general criteria for a personality disorder, which should trigger further inquiry if they are met. Milan provides some historical background on the study of personality and presents several empirical and several theoretical models of personality, including his own. The articles by Adler and by Schulman present the holistic individual psychology model of personality functioning. As you read through the different models of personality functioning, try to decide which one matches your personal experience most closely. The recommended reading is the chapter in Barlow and Durand on personality disorders. The assignment for this unit is a case study using the case of the mistress with headaches and palpitations, pages 38 to 41 in the Adler Casebook. After you read the case, start with the general criteria for a personality disorder. Does she seem to you to meet these criteria? If your answer is yes, look at the diagnostic criteria for the specific personality disorders. Does she appear to you to meet any of these diagnostic criteria? What data would you need to resolve any questions or doubts you have about her personality disorder diagnosis? Next, empathize with this case as best you can, trying to walk through her world and see it as she sees it. Use this perspective to provide ratings for the 6 domains of HUDAS, using the clinician rating form, and to identify lifestyle beliefs using the format proposed in the Schulman article. I am, others are, the world is, I am most significant when. Your original posting is due on January 10, and your peer responses are due on January 11. There is also a clinical inquiry forum for personality disorders. Start by reviewing items 19 and 20 from the Level 1 Symptom Questionnaire and the 2 specific measures for personality disorders, the Personality Inventory for DSM-5 and the Personality Inventory for DSM-5 short form. What other questions would you want to ask a person who satisfies the general criteria for a personality disorder? My goal with these clinical inquiry forms is to have you brainstorm a bit and be creative about additional information that might help you understand a person beyond the diagnostic criteria. You can also include a brief rationale for why your question is relevant to understanding this hypothetical person. This is due on January 11th.